Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rosa. This is the 4th out of 10 videos coming up on this light olive foundation series, and what that means is I'm testing out foundations that have an olive undertone in the description of the shade, because unfortunately a lot of people think that olive only belongs in the medium to darker categories, and they are light people, you know, light skinned people like us. They do have an olive undertone, and we don't fall in the warm necessarily and not in the cool or neutral. So this is a series to not only bring a little more awareness to the light olive skin tone people out there, but also I want to dig and find the foundations that might be your perfect match. Today's foundation is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation, and the shade is 30CG. So if you want to know my thoughts on this foundation, then just keep on watching. So today's foundation is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation up to 24-hour wear. This one is in the shade 30CG. It's actually very lightweight even on the packaging. It's a plastic bottle. The description says, find your naked truth with Urban Decay's Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. 50 shades designed with 9 shade intensities, 3 master tones, and 7 undertones in mind. This waterproof long-wear foundation feels like a second skin thanks to a breathable, flexible formula that moves with you all day and all night up to 24 hours. It not only feels better, it even looks better with its Stay True color, which minimizes the appearance of pores. And then on the packaging it says that it's flexible, breathable, real skin matte finish, medium buildable coverage, does not transfer, minimizes the appearance of pores, Stay True color, waterproof, vegan formula, does not contain animal-derived ingredients or byproducts. I like what it says inside the packaging. Good things happen when you're naked. Okay, the shade is it's a 30CG, and it says it's light cool with olive undertone. When I went through the colors, there wasn't one that would say warm with olive undertone. What I did like about the description of the shade is that it's ranging in the light and not in the medium. Like 2 other foundations that I've tried already where they're in the medium category and they are a little too dark, even though technically I'm wearing my summer tan shade, I guess. The bottle looks pretty fancy. Kind of has a strange like indent here. Yep. And it's pump. Let's just get into the application. Right side with the brush, left side with the sponge. I wish that right now it would be like the beginning of the day so I could really test it out, but it is already close to 6 o'clock p.m. so there's no way I'm gonna be able to test out the long wear of this. Okay, that looks very promising. It has like a slight paint scent. Reminds me of like the Wet n Wild photo focus. Okay, I'm gonna put a little more just because that was a very light coverage. I know that I don't always say it, but my skin is always prepped before putting in foundation, and in the sense that it's been washed, moisturized, and I have an SPF. I don't wear any specific primer. I actually don't really care for primers. I don't feel like they make a difference for my skin. It does feel like you have to build it up quite a bit to get a medium to full coverage. Usually when I'm testing out the color of the foundation, I usually use the mirror and look at my skin in different angles to catch different light. But I notice whenever I use this mirror and I look up, I can see my face and my neck, and that's like the fastest way that I can compare it. And right now, looking at it in front of these lights, I see that it's a pretty close match to my skin, and the undertone is not bad. Now hopefully this will be one of those foundations that oxidizes. Now I'm gonna get closer so that you can see how it compares to my skin. This is my face on this side. You can see the color of my neck and my shoulders, my chest, and then here is the foundation. I feel like this foundation looks slightly lighter compared to my neck, and maybe it has to do with the cool undertone. 30 means that it's light intensity, C is cool, which is the master tone, and then green, which gives it the undertone, which explains why it's an olive, right? I just wish maybe that if they had instead of C, like W for one, maybe it would have matched a little better. I'm gonna finish up this side using the sponge. Looks a little pale, but maybe it will change whenever I put bronzer. So far, it built really nicely on both sides and it set really quickly. The foundation itself looks really nice and it feels nice. So I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back with more thoughts. Okay, I'm back. This is the final look. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up all in the camera, but the way I see it in front of me and when I stood in front of my window with natural light, I can really tell that this foundation is pulling a little light and cool. So I think that this would have been almost perfect if there was something like a 30WG to make it warm tone. Also, I don't feel like this bronzer is the best one to help my skin color. I've been using the e.l.f. Baked highlighter and bronzer for all the applications, so I could stay consistent as much as possible, which is why I had mentioned before I will be using the same shirt and the same settings, and that way I can really compare the foundation colors as I go. But overall, it doesn't look bad. So far it hasn't oxidized, but I did notice that it did get a lot more matte. I'm gonna get closer so that you can see. Hopefully you can see what I mean. Here's a little dry spot where I had acne, and that does look slightly dry. Around my nose area, I didn't really blend it that well on this side versus this side with beauty sponge. My arms are tanner than the rest of my body just because they get exposed to the sun the most, versus obviously my face and my neck I do put SPF every day. I normally don't go out with shirts like this. Maybe if I picked another bronzer, I would be able to hide the lightness of the foundation more. If that is something that you like to do, then you can definitely make this work. It does feel like the undertone is pretty close, just slightly cool, but I do recommend it because it did stay in the light category for the skin tone. Now I'm going to be inserting the swatches on how this foundation compares to other foundations I have in my collection. Here's the Urban Decay in 30CG. Next one is Au Naturale Cream Foundation in Honey. Next is the Elsie Silk Foundation in Warm Ivory. Next is the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue in 119 Light Medium. Next is the Hardcandy Camouflage Foundation in Olive. Next is the Catrice HD Liquid Cover in Light Beige. Last is the Smashbox Studio Skin in 1.05. So that's all for today. I hope that you find this helpful, and if you did, please like this video. Comment down below if you're liking this series, or if this is your first video, make sure to check out the description box where I have tons of information, including 2 reference videos to what an olive skin tone is, some close foundation shades to my skin, and the playlist to this foundation series. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!